Hi everyone, this is Garrett from Zip Scanners, where we make scanning easy. Today I'm going to do a startup guide on the SDS100, the flagship scanner from Uniden, the newest handheld digital scanner on the market, and currently the best one. So, many of you want to just take it out of the box and have it be ready to use, and we try our best to make that a possibility. But I just want to go through some things that you can do as soon as you get the scanner. A lot of you have questioned this SD card slot here underneath the battery. There's a lock and unlock, so you see those arrows: up, lock, down, unlock. Just be really careful. You can bend that little clasp right here and it can break. It's very fragile, but I've never had any issues with it. Just remember, with the SD card, gold up. All right. And even I'm having a little bit of issues just showing you. There you go. It slides right in, and you push up to lock it. See? Okay. And the battery. So, gold down. All right. And just slide it in like this. This is also very fragile. If this gets broken, you're kind of SOL. Because if this is unable to clasp to the back, then your battery is not going to be able to touch gold to gold here, and you're not going to be able to power the scanner. So be very careful with this clasp. Not even more so than the flimsy metal clasp for the SD card. You will receive the Remtronics aftermarket antenna that improves your reception by 20 to 50% with a 6+ dB gain. Some of you will continue to use the stock antenna. That antenna was made to be waterproof, so you lose a little bit of reception there. So we like to include this Remtronics antenna. It really does help the scanner in terms of reception and just receiving transmissions in general. So, with all of that, we have a fully intact scanner, and we can just press the power key. All right, see you at a different angle. So the screen, as you can see, even when I do turn it on, looks a little bit dim. I've set the clock here, but we'll immediately show you how to make your screen brighter. Change the volume, see, tap down on the knob, turn it down. I'll go to the menu. See, this is the function key, this is the menu key. You rarely use this. This is really only for changing the squelch, and that works the same as the volume. So volume and squelch are up here. I'll show that quickly. See, the F up here is for function. Tap down, get volume level. Now I have squelch level. Okay. I'll turn the volume back up. Alright, and this is the menu to display options, backlight options. I'll set the dimmer. Right now I'm at 40, that's the default. I'm gonna go all the way up for video purposes. I'm sure you're not gonna want it this bright most of the time. And I'll go to timer. So these will be set automatically. The default options for squelch is 5, but I will always change it with the one-touch startup to open squelch. And key press to infinite. So when you get the one-touch startup from us, we change some of these default settings, like this. Squelch to open squelch, key press to infinite or 120. Most people don't like to keep it on infinite because it drains the battery, but I can also show you some battery options. So that's in settings. Battery option, battery save, on, set battery low, set alert, This is also a cool thing about the scanner. You can make your own music. Alright, enough of that. Alert volume. If you want to be startled when your battery gets low, set it all the way to 15. But I assume you're going to want it at the highest 10. So, those are some battery options. And this is the one thing with the SDS100 that no other scanner does, with battery power at least. Set charge while on. So it'll automatically be set for disable, so I'll enable that. And this is how you can charge the scanner just like you would a cell phone. So you're laying in bed, you have it plugged in, you can use it while it's charging. Kind of a nice little feature. They do not have that on the 436, and I have had questions. Is there going to be a new firmware update that will allow the 436 to charge while you monitor? And I don't have an answer for that. Probably not, but this video could age poorly. So I'm showing scan mode, nothing to scan, because I have not programmed this SD card. But if I had, I would go first to set scan selection, select list to monitor, and turn off the full database if you're not planning to use this solely for a zip code scan, location-based scanner. So when this full database is turned on along with your other lists, that would be listed underneath search with scan, which should also be turned off most of the time. It's competing with a zip code that hasn't been entered. So basically, you're going to end up with nothing to scan. So this is where you're going to live to change the lists that you're monitoring. So say you got 5 counties, you only want to monitor 3, you turn off the 2, you make sure the full database is turned off. But if I do want to do a zip code scan, I turn it on. And I can do it the short way by hitting Zip Services, USA, enter my zip code, hit the E key, which is enter, and then it'll start processing my area. And now I'm scanning everything, and I mean everything, within a 50-mile radius of the zip code that I just entered. So I'm getting the trunked system for the statewide Minnesota trunked system, phase 1 digital.
5 with the yellow patient for north.
And I accidentally got a transmission to come through. So I will turn that off. Alright, so you know how the zip code scan works now. And in order to turn that off, I will go to set scan selection, select list to monitor, turn it off. It is a little misleading when you say manage full database, but that's just to review your avoids and some other information that is not important. And also the same with manage favorites. That's really just to edit names. If you do create a list by entering a manual frequency and changing the name there. But really, you're going to sit right in here, set scan selection, select list to monitor. Set all lists off, set all lists on. Probably never do that. It doesn't really make much sense to me, since you have to have this off to monitor the rest of the lists. So I'll turn them both off again. Alright. So let me just go through a couple other things then. This is your weather, WX operation, priority scan. It's where you set your priorities. Discovery. We'll just see how this works. Input system name. Well, I can find Allied if I wanted to.
but yeah, no. Alright. Close call. This is basically a feature that only works within a 200-yard range. So if there are any frequencies, like you see a squad car pretty near, and you want to see if you can pick that up, like if there's a dispatch call or if he's receiving the TAC call, and we'll see if we get anything. Probably not. And you see to scan and hold. This would be to keep it on close call. This would be to exit close call. So go back to scan, and then I'll go back to my screen. Service types. So nothing's programmed, so these are all going to be 3 lines here. Everything that's programmed will have the option to be turned on or off. And anything that isn't, say I don't have, I don't know, racing teams, because I usually don't program for NASCAR. Sometimes I do. But racing teams, usually going to have 3 lines. Transportation, usually not programming that. Usually not programming utilities. Public works are usually avoided. It really depends on what you want to listen to, though. Mostly going to live around EMS dispatch TAC talk, fire dispatch TAC talk, and same with law dispatch TAC talk. But that's where you can turn on and off those service types. So say you just don't want to be listening to EMS, go in here, turn all 3 lists off. And in the Sentinel software, it will list off the service types in the right column when you're programming, so you'll know exactly which frequencies are which service types. So if you're kind of sick of hitting the avoid button, once for temporary, twice for permanent, you can just turn off the entire service type and set your location. We already did zip code with zip services here. Auto locate, just going off your GPS location with this handy dandy Remtronics antenna. And you get manual location. You can enter your latitude and longitude. Silly. Set up GPS. I'm actually trying to find a way to set up GPS internally on an SDS100. I've seen it done before, mostly on eBay, but that'd be a cool thing to do. But with Uniden, they do have the universal GPS that fits all digital scanners. And I'll quickly show you upgrade. So this is where the upgrade keys are entered for ProVoice, DMR, and NXDN. Most of you don't need these. You can ask us just based on your zip code. We can find out if you do need one of these, or 2 of these, or all 3. They are an added cost for the SDS100. It is not on any Whistler digital scanners, but in this case you do need to pay for an upgrade to get these. So I'll just click on one. I'll pretend to enter one. You use this knob to change letters, numbers, dashes. It would be like a 3 or 4 strings of numbers. And this is how you navigate to the next one. Incorrect key. It'll say that you can either enter the whole key by pressing down on the knob or hitting the enter button. The cursor will return the beginning once the full key is entered, and then you can press enter. But I'll back out of that. And really, like I just did, you use this menu key to back out of everything. Back to settings. Now I'm back to the main scanning screen. A lot of this you won't touch. We'll usually set the clock for you. replay options. This is how you can view your recordings. This is your replay record button down here. So you can record these transmissions. I do recommend upgrading memory if you do plan to record, because 8 gigabytes is probably going to suffice for, say, 5 to 10 counties. So if you do plan on recording quite a bit, I would upgrade to either 16 or 32 gigabytes. And then you can play around with that. Restore options, don't touch it at all. Just don't touch it. I can guarantee you do not want to do this. Clear user data, get rid of all of your programming, or you can reset. But no, yeah, just get out of here. You're going to be reminded one more time, do you want to do this? No. No would be this period right here, NOPRI, or yes, E. There's nothing in there, so I'll just delete it all anyway. But with that, I have cleared all of the settings that I've just entered, and you don't want to go back and do that. See? The screen's dimmer. And now I have the sound back. Crazy how that happens. Well, that's all for this video. We will make many more on the SDS100 in the future. This is Garrett from Zip Scanners, where we make scanning easy, where we offer free shipping, no taxes, and lifetime technical support from experts like me. Thanks.